K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we're expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and Instant Access, K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we're expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at advertise@k98talk.org. The leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan, period.
This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
Oh, welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy. Don't expect us to admit a mistake. We're paying off election debts to those on the take. Attorney General's lying even while
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. You're listening to America Off the Rails with your host, Rick Robinson.
I'm the enemy because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing I'm an Oscar Mayer wee.
All
right, folks, well, happy Monday. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and it's been several days since I have been with you live, so I felt like I needed to give a shout-out to my loyal rail riders, wherever and whomever you might be. Some of you I could mention by name, Charles for one. Another one that tends to listen quite a bit that I like to throw into that category is Dread Pirate Ron. Of course, we also have Colonel Obvious. Of course, most of these folks that I'm mentioning are folks that I've gotten to know pretty well on Twitter. I also do have a few folks that are following me on Facebook. Speaking of which, if you are interested in following along, even when I'm not on the air, you are more than welcome to do so. A couple of quick ways to do that. You can always reach me via email at rick@k98talk.org. You can also reach me anytime on Twitter at _r_OKC. You can also send me a friend request on Facebook. No, most of you are not going to get my private profile, but I do have a professional one, which is just www.facebook.com/RowdyRickyRobinson. Feel free to look me up there, shoot me a friend request. We'll talk, we'll hang out, we'll chat. It'll be fun. All right, so speaking of fun, several days since I've done a radio show. Not much fun. What is fun is we are a few days away from the debates. So I figured we would spend most of the show probably talking about that. I know some of you right now are going, "Where's Jared? It's Monday. You always hang out with Jared on Monday." Yes, we will still be hanging out with Jared today, as long as he can get done with something that came up in time to hang out with me. Otherwise, you're stuck with me. So, yeah. Anyway, before I forget, I do want to give a shout out to the affiliates, of course, as always. We have the Spark Radio Network, which is the network that founded everything that we've done. And then, of course, the station that I run, which is K98 Talk, that is actually run by a business partner of mine that I am the general manager for. So I guess those two really don't count as affiliates. But hey, I built one and I'm helping to build the other, so sue me. The next ones, of course... the next recent edition after that was, of course, AMFM247.com, where this show can be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 in the afternoon, Eastern Time. And then after that, we added Red State Talk Radio, where the show can be heard every day at 6 Eastern. I'm sorry, not every day. Sunday at 6 Eastern. Sorry, there are a couple of affiliates where it's every day. Then, of course, we have SHR Media, where the show can now be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at, I believe it is 11 a.m. Eastern. Are you having trouble keeping up? Because I am. And we're not done yet. We just added Leading Edge Radio Network. The show now airs there. Pardon me. What the heck was that? Sounded like something blew up. That was weird. I think I have a new tone that tells me when somebody's trying to get my attention on Skype, because that was a really weird noise, or that it was in my head. But anyway, so basically, where was I? Oh yeah, Leading Edge Radio Network is Monday through Friday at 7 in the morning, and we have, of course, High Point Radio, which is in the evenings in New Jersey on an actual terrestrial radio station, which AMFM 24/7 has quite a few of those as well. All of the stations we're currently on are low power. However, I do have an announcement and a bit of a prayer request. We have the opportunity to be placed on a station out of Philadelphia, WNJC 1360. You'll notice a lot of the shows that we carry here now are also carried there. So it's presented itself as an opportunity. I am still trying to see if maybe that's the direction the show needs to go at this point. So feedback would be great. Also, if anyone wants to send out a little bit of positive thoughts, vibes, mojo, whatever it is you got under the hood, go ahead and send it out to us. Bear with me for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and get Jared on the line with us here. As soon as I know he's answered, we will bring him in. All right, he should be with us now. Send it out to us. Hey, Jared, I think you might still be listening to the show. You're live with us now if you want to go ahead and come on. All right, he should. Okay, he's still playing the show. I think it's done now. To the show. You're live with us now. Oh, no. See, there's that nice little delay that we have built in just in case. And we don't usually use it, but I think he's finally figured it out now that I have him on the line. Jared, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, cool. Well, when I started trying to bring you over a second ago, I could hear myself, and it was kind of confusing.
I'm still getting kind of. Oh, I'm gonna call back in a minute. Okay, I want to try. It may be on my end, so I'll call you. I'll call you back in about 2 minutes.
Okay,
get rid of
not a
that.
problem.
Go.
Sure. Okay, so us trying to get Jared back on the line. Take 2 here in just a moment. Okay, so I think we've done all the affiliates. I'm gonna have to put together a list. You know, it's just kind of gotten to the point now where the show's grown so much, and I don't want to take any credit for that because it's because of you guys that are listening that I've kept plugging away in the times when I really kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't have been doing this at all. I got messages from you guys talking about that I was saying things that you couldn't put in the same words. It's the same type of stuff that folks like Patrick, the up-and-coming authors, they get. You know, we get in these times when we're like, is anybody listening? Does it really matter? Am I doing anything at all to make a difference? And sometimes we feel like we're not. And then all of a sudden we start hearing back from people that have listened this whole time and never bothered to say anything until now. So I just want to take a moment to say to each and every one of you that have made this show what it is today, thank you very much for continuing to listen. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much for making this one of the fastest growing talk shows in the country right now. I mean, I have to admit, there aren't very many. All right, how about now?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, no echo now?
Nope.
Okay,
all good.
Okay, so anyway, I was basically kind of giving a little bit of a shout out to the fans because it's been days since I've been on the radio. Some of them have been sending me messages wanting to make sure I'm not dead or dying or in the hospital. So, no, I am fine. House hunting has just literally been kicking my butt for the last couple of weeks. However, after spending the weekend looking at several different properties, the wife and I have picked the one that we hope we're going to be able to get, and we just finished signing the paperwork on the offer. So everybody cross their fingers. Just saying. All right, so as everybody knows, I have a day job. I have to say, I don't usually talk very much about the day job, and I'm not going to say too much about it today, but today has absolutely sucked. So in between signing paperwork and dealing with the day job, I had about 20 minutes to throw together a show concept. Actually, I'm kind of proud of it for 20 minutes because I even found some sound clues to go with it. But I figured we would kind of talk about the up-and-coming debates, and then I would give you a chance to see if you had anything else that you had thought might be worthwhile. Speaking of which, I got your email, and that's not a problem. I actually will get that put together at some point, probably tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Okay, so I would say to fill in everybody as to how your day's been, but I already got the text. So
yeah, I had planned on going through and maybe coming up with some good topics and grabbing something, but the day didn't go as planned, so here we are, right?
Is giving your dog bad breath? Try Doggy Dentures, now available in extra white.
You're kidding, right? Just give me
Okay, finally it listened to me. I mean, I know I say this a lot. I'm a capitalist, so I like commercials. Trust me, we run commercials all the time. But I really miss the days when you could have on a regular website that wasn't playing sound or music or anything, that you could have just the ads that popped up and said, "Hey, if you want to hear more about this, click here," and then it takes you to the actual ad. Now they just bring them up right in front of you, and no matter what I do, I can't make them stop, and it's really starting to get on my nerves.
Yep, especially when they play right through. Those autoplay ads are terrible at the wrong time.
Yeah, I saw that somebody had put an article about that about that recently, and I hadn't actually read it yet. But I hear that there are a lot of folks that are really, really mad about autoplay ads. I happen to say I can honestly put myself on that list. I hate autoplay ads. I honestly don't even like when I go to a website and something that I want to listen to starts playing on its own automatically, because there may be something else I want to do on the website before I start being inundated by the sounds. So for me personally, I kind of like to be able to go in when I want and click the button and say, yeah, now I'm ready to listen. Not all of this, oh, we're going to inundate you with ads and noise and maybe it's because I spend so much time with people talking in my ear, though, because everything I do involves a headset. So when it's quiet, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, most of the show today is probably going to cover kind of the pre-debate run-up. I've heard some interesting things on the Democratic side of things, and honestly, Bryce, the youngster of the group, just had a potential Democratic presidential candidate on his show on Saturday. Honestly, it was somebody I'd never heard of. Not sure if he's going to make it very far, but I have to admit, somebody's going to take my conservative card, but I liked about 80% of what he said. Because a lot of what he said sounds like stuff that I hear other conservatives saying. He even started advocating changing the way the taxes are done. And a lot of other things that a lot of us have been screaming about. But I think the thing that I keep running into over and over again, and the thing that just makes me want to throw my hands up in the air, is nobody wants to admit the fact that the simple fact of the matter is, yes, the government knows things are broken. Yes, the government knows things needs to be fixed. They don't care. That was weird. All of a sudden, I think everything hates me today. My phone is randomly starting to talk to me now, and I don't even know what that was. I'm starting to think everything is possessed.
Who is this? Particular candidate?
Hang on a second. I'll grab his name. I don't have it in front of me, but I can grab it real quick. Okay, I think I finally managed to shut my phone up. Guess maybe I'm just so tired I'm randomly hitting weird buttons. And
you know, it'd be
little
incredible
kicking my butt numbers-wise, too.
If we had a showdown of a pure socialist versus a pure capitalist. That's never happened in history. I don't think it will happen, but it certainly would be interesting to hear Sanders and Trump go at it head to head on, many different issues.
See, the thing that honestly worries me a little bit about Trump and Sanders is I'm starting to get the impression that they're basically flip sides of the same kind of coin. They kind of want the same things. They just think we need to get there in different directions. Which I guess the same can be said about a lot of folks, honestly, but it just seems kind of weird to me how much they actually are alike. Where is that page? Because he didn't put the name in the interview. Oh, well, when I find it, I'll actually mention it again later. I'll just... Because, I can't find him right now, and I don't remember his name. I gave him access so he could start renaming his episodes, and for some reason he didn't put the name of the guy that he interviewed in the episode. Anyway.
Are you talking about a candidate this year for Democratic nomination? Jim Webb?
That might be him. He's a really small... No, I don't think that is him. He's out of, I think it was either North Carolina or South Carolina.
Well, there's Robbie Wells and Jeff Boss. I don't even know if they're running, but they were talking about running. Martin O'Malley, Lincoln Chafee.
No, but whoever this guy is, Bryce kept mentioning that he had more likes than... he has more likes than Lincoln Chafee. Listen to my interview with presidential candidate Lloyd Kelso. I knew I'd find the name eventually.
Oh.
Never heard of him, but I actually kind of liked a lot of what he said, which was
I'll have to listen to it.
Well, everybody else is. That little kid's killing me in numbers lately. I'm starting to have number envy. I understand you guys having great numbers because you're following is huge, but he's in triple digits every week now. I'm a little disturbed.
Well, kudos to him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not mad at him at all. I'm just like really.
Oh yeah, maybe a little bit of jealousy. No, just
little envious, maybe, but not mad.
It's impressive to me for someone that I'm not saying how old he is, but he's on the younger side, and I'm impressed with what he does at his age. So, even if I didn't see eye to eye on every issue, it's certainly impressive to.
The scary thing is we actually agree a lot more than we disagree. The only things that I really I can't let him slide on are the whole socialism things. I can't let those go because that's never going to work here. Even in the places where they try it, it never honestly works. Like these last couple of countries they've been touting, which the names have escaped me for the moment. Now all of a sudden there's all these stories coming about how broken everything is. Yeah, I think Sweden's actually one of them.
Yeah, and it's the millennial generation, possibly even younger. There's somehow it's getting into their head, and I'm not saying it's from school necessarily. It's more of a. I'm not an expert enough to know how they're getting it, but they're getting that socialism is a good thing. They're getting it drilled in their head somewhere. I mean, the media certainly doesn't tout socialism directly, but every agenda that they get behind and push, it really has all the aspects of socialism. It's just like Wasserman Schultz couldn't come out, and there isn't much difference in the Democratic Party than the Socialist Party much today. Even the DNC chair couldn't come right out and say it. She just stumbled twice when she was asked that.
Yeah, and the scary thing about that is the interviews weren't even anywhere where you would expect him to not only ask that kind of question once, but now twice. Because that was actually on MSNBC where Chris Matthews is like, hey, at this point, can you tell me the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? I don't really think that's an important question. That's not one that I want to focus on. So,
friendly base getting asked a question that she should be able to just... Now, maybe there's some... with Hillary, there's a large part of the Democratic Party doesn't like Hillary, and Sanders support is growing. So they have some division, and maybe we're going to see some of that more. We haven't seen it in 8 years, so maybe we're going to start seeing some of that. Because Obama had a pass for 8 years. Well, almost 8 years.
Yeah, well... Is it really only been almost 8 years? Why does it feel like 16?
Oh, man. January 20th, 2017. We can wave bye-bye to the Ayatollah and his handsome wife.
I have a question. Which one's the wife and which one's the husband?
Well, by the looks of the... Never mind.
Come on. I almost got you to go there.
I know. I'm used to... See, we don't... I can't... The language is kept, very family-oriented on our show, and we do actually have some kids listening. What I wanted to say was, I'm just not going to say it. Maybe next time.
Oh, well, we almost brought Jared out of his shell, folks. Maybe next week. No, I'm just messing with you. With as regulated as you are over there, I actually commend you for trying to keep that in place, because I've actually... When I first started doing all of this, I ran it like it was FCC regulated, and the longer I did it, the more comfortable I got, and then I got to the point where I kind of didn't really care anymore. And now I'm having to rein things back in because there's a good shot I might actually be on an FCC regulated station soon. So I'm like, meh, which is both good and bad because that means there's rules now. I don't like rules.
Rick.
Yes. Hello? Uh-oh. Are we losing Jared? Jared! Uh-oh. Well, according to the system, I am still broadcasting. Let's go ahead and take break a couple minutes early so I can see if I can find out what's going on with Jared.
What's going on with Jared?
Okay, that was really weird. I just heard myself. Okay, we're going to take a break so I can get all this sorted out. I will be right back.
Well, apparently, we're still... Red Nation Rising brings you Town Hall Radio.
From a single tweet to 3 million a month, our community is a force to be reckoned with on social media.
So don't miss our show, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on K98 Talk.
Our chat room is our co-host, and you ask the question.
Join us and be heard.
So get ready to sound off on Red Nation Rising Radio. No one else is going to do it for you.
There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling out my name like a long lost friend.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
K98Talk.com, a leader in internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98Talk.com.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members, of their families or their children, asking them to deploy, patrol, stay on watch, on point, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to bring them all the way home, to keep them secure, to have their backs for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs do whatever it takes to help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Find out how you can help at findwwp.org.
This is JD.
And this is Stacy.
Join us Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Game On. Remember,
lock up the children and the old folks.
Game On, the home of libertarian conservatism,
where no one is safe and no one is spared, not even the hosts.
Oh, that was supposed to be a spin cycle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We love you anyway. Right round, baby.
Self-monitoring
right
Ebola
anyway.
radio strikes again.
Anyway.
Anybody see the host monkey? Where's the host monkey? Where's the host monkey? For God's sake, I need an antidote. Just do your rant. Let's pop out of the segment.
Has to do with
Find us on Twitter at JD and Stacy.
You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Phone calls, we got a pen and telephone to bypass all your laws. Political correctness will replace the Bill of Rights. Support religious freedom, bless you, pray to Jesus Christ. The press is
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield.
Wrong calls, we got a pen and telephone about that's all you lost. Political courageous will replace the bill of rights. Support religious freedom lest you pray to Jesus Christ. The press is in our pockets cause it's no longer free. You cannot make a move now that the NSA can see. Don't expect equality, respect for fair play. The IRS will target those who vote the wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome to the place.
All right, folks, we're back. We're live, I think. I'm pretty sure JD let the host monkey out of the cage, and he's been over here pushing buttons and flipping levers and everything else. But I think we finally got it all sorted out, I think. Jared, are you still with me?
Yeah, I just finished fighting off this host monkey. Threw it off my back.
Dude, we're going
to keep that thing under control.
We're going to have to tell JD to start feeding that damn thing or something, because, I mean, dang. It just got loose and started going crazy. Won't mention what it was doing to my pant leg. It's not suitable for radio.
Wasn't it flinging something at you?
I think it was poo, but I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, where were we before the host monkey decided to tear things up? Do you remember? Because I don't.
Well, we were talking about, we're trying to get into talking about the debate, I believe, and you had mentioned we were talking about Democrats for a few minutes, and
oh yeah, we started talking about Lee Kelso, which is a guy I'd never heard of until he agreed to come on Bryce's show. Really good interview, and then of course Bryce lately has hit triple digits now for like 4 weeks running, so big hats off to him, even though I am slightly jelly. We're actually considering finding common ground to the slot after his show to see if maybe we can grab some of that traffic. Because with his numbers, I'm starting to think we're just doing that one too early on a Saturday and nobody wants to listen. So we're going to try going a little later with it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Thursday night, we have starting at 5 Eastern GOP debate. 6 p.m. Eastern is the online pre-show. 9 p.m. is the actual primetime debate. 9 p.m. Eastern, which fortunately is the moment when our show ends that night. So we get to get our show in before the main attraction starts.
Well, that's good, because I wondered about that. Because, well, I guess that's good for you, bad for JD and Stacy.
Yeah, I thought of that after the fact. I just realized it today, actually. And
Well, honestly, I'm wondering if maybe they shouldn't find some way to see if maybe they can grab some of the debate feed and kind of feed it into their show, since they're going to be live during it anyway. That might be a way to keep some folks entertained. Who knows? But I hadn't had a chance to talk to them about that yet. But maybe I will. See what they say.
Great idea, actually. Have a live feed in, do some commentary, and have the chat room commenting. Put those out on the air as well.
Well, that was kind of my thought, was, put the fact that the debates are going to be a really big draw to good use and see if we can get some traction from some of the shows from it. But I will shoot everybody an email that will be doing stuff that day and see if maybe we want to kind of, if nothing else, work it around the debates for all the folks that are going to be coming on beforehand, and then maybe see about some coverages during any shows that are broadcasting, see if anybody wants to do that. But that's just my crazy thought for the day. So, do have a few clips. Since we had that technical issue, I want to start trying to go ahead and see if we can get into what I'd actually wanted to talk about a little bit today. And as much as it drives me crazy, everything for me keeps coming back to Trump, but for so many different reasons. Things, again, concern me when it comes to Trump, but I took a moment to listen to and watch an interview that he did on Cashin' In this past Saturday, and I actually kind of liked some of what he said. I actually found a snippet that covers some of my favorite parts of it, so I figured I would run that, and then I have some reaction from the Cashin' In crew that I thought maybe we could talk about, since actually getting to the point where I kind of at least know one of them. So, but anyway, at least a little bit. I've produced for him a couple of times when he's been on the station, so during interviews. So, woohoo!
And now it's your turn. We asked you what you would ask Donald Trump, and we got over 5,000 questions in just the first hour. Scott J. on Twitter asking, what signature piece of legislation would you like to initiate if you were president? Here's what the Donald said.
I would love to do a great health care plan, a plan that's affordable. We have to repeal and replace Obamacare. It's a disaster. People can't afford it. It's turned out to be a total catastrophe, and it only kicks in really big league in 2016. So nobody knows how bad it is right now. Obama's going to be maybe at one of my golf courses playing golf, okay? Nobody knows how bad it is, and it's going to kick in 2016. People know it's bad, but the real effect is going to be in another year and a half, 2 years from now. So I would say health care, but there's so many other things. Sure. Veterans stuff we have to do. The military, we have to rebuild our military, make it strong. I want to have our military so strong that nobody's going to mess with us. No, everybody says I'll be the best economically for the country and, from the economic standpoint. I think I'll be the best from the standpoint of the military, if you want to know the truth. I think that'll be equal. But we have to rebuild our military and make ourselves really strong again, because we've never been at a time where we have such danger as we do now.
On Facebook, Karen Pitchford says, Mr. Trump, who would you pick for VP? Who's your number two?
Well, I don't want to get into that game yet, Eric. It's too early. I mean, there are a lot of good people. I mean, we have a lot of terrific people. And many of the people, honestly, there are certain people.
Let me ask you this way. Of the other 9 people on that debate stage, if they said you have to pick one of those as your VP, you have to. Which one would it be?
Well, I don't want to get into that. I really can't. I can't do that with you because it's too early in the process. I don't want to insult anybody, and I don't want to, frankly, build anybody up. But there are some people that I have great respect for on that stage, and some of the people that aren't on that stage, are on a different stage, that I have a lot of respect for. There are other people in this country that I have great respect for. We'll see what happens, but it's just too early.
All right, so we do this thing called Wake Up America. It's a hashtag on Twitter. It's huge. We did somewhere around 580,000 tweets in the last 30 days. It's the new go-to hashtag for conservative debate, even political debate, discourse. Wake Up America, finish the sentence. If you were Donald Trump saying, Wake Up America, what would you say? Wake Up America.
We have to build our military stronger because we're very vulnerable. When you have Putin going out and talking about nuclear all of a sudden, which he never did before. His hatred of Obama is incredible. We have to wake up and we have to build our military. There's nothing more important than the security of this country. We have to build our military so strong and so good and so powerful that nobody's going to play with us.
A lot of people say Donald Trump is too tough. He lacks compassion. He lacks empathy. Is that true? And does the commander-in-chief need to be empathetic?
I think it's the opposite. I really think I have a big heart. I want to take care of people, even on the health care. I want to take care of people that a lot of people aren't talking about. And frankly, if I lose some votes, I don't care. You know, a lot of very conservative people, I'm pretty conservative, but they sort of are not remembering these people that are not doing so well. I want to take care of people. And I think I have a much bigger heart than people understand. At the same time, I love our country. I hate to see what's going on. And we need a stronger tone. When Jeb and Hillary, both of them, the same day, they said, I don't like his tone. We need a stronger tone. We need enthusiasm. We need strength. We need toughness. But we need a stronger tone.
Are you looking forward to the debate?
I look forward to it. I've never done it before. I mean, I haven't. I'm not a debater. I produce jobs. I produce beautiful buildings. I do a lot of good things. And I built great businesses. I built an incredible business. But the fact is, I'm not a debater. I've never done it before. I don't know. Maybe I'll be good. Maybe I'll be terrible. Who knows what I'll do? But I'll do my best. And, you know, I'm representing a lot of people. There's a silent majority out there that is tired of incompetence where they all talk, no action.
I think that's about enough of that guy. Now, before we go too much further, I just, you know, I've heard him do this a couple of times, and it kept bugging me because I kept thinking there's somebody that anytime he goes into the, you know, the okay or the big long spiels, it reminded me of somebody, and I couldn't figure out who it was today.
Bad bitch! Check out the gun! Okay, hey, okay, put the gun down! License, registration!
Okay, so when he goes into the okay thing that he's done on a few different clips, and this one he only did it once, but I just realized who he reminds me of. It reminds me of Joe Pesci. It's kind of weird. Random.
Yeah. Come on.
But yeah, so anyway, so basically that's a couple of things that I use that clip for a couple of reasons. One, I like what he says about the military because I agree with him when it comes to the military. I'm not so sure I agree with him when it comes to the repeal and the replace of Obamacare because I think in some ways he's not very conservative when it comes to that. I mean, I guess my question, and I guess I'll ask you, is have we gotten to the point now where we need to have some sort of government healthcare program? Because I'm starting to feel like no matter who we put in office, the most we're going to probably do is get a different style of government healthcare program in place rather than doing away with it altogether. What about you?
Well, I think that trying to move everything into control, under the government control, you know, with education and with Obamacare and healthcare, I think the ultimate goal for Democrats is a single payer system. I don't really think that that's what all of the Republican Party wants. Obviously, the conservatives don't. The GOP establishment, yeah, I think that they would be just as happy to have a different type of Obamacare. And I think most people, conservatives, libertarians, people that I talk to, just want it pushed into the private sector and let the market determine everything. Now, that sounds crazy because it's just so far gone with all the different elements, the research, pharma, and insurance, everything. But I think what you're saying is probably most likely we would get another big government-controlled healthcare system. I just think that if the GOP tried to create one, it would be probably close to as bad as Obamacare,
if not worse.
Not worse. I just think that anything that they control is not going to be good for people, especially middle class people, even the poor. It's not going to have. Obamacare isn't doing much justice to. And the thing Trump said, he's right. I've asked the same question to people that actually have information about it, that the worst of Obamacare will be faced by the next president, not anytime soon.
Well, yeah, and that's completely true. And, you know, that's one of the things that nobody really wants to talk about. All he's managed to do over the last few years, he being Obama, is push all of these penalties and everything to the side. So what's going to wind up happening is no matter who wins in 2016, or 2017, I guess, is when they take office. But no matter who wins, they're going to be facing such a mess that they're not going to know what to do with it. And
they aren't. They're going to get blamed. Whoever's in office at the time will take the blame in the media, even if you can the obvious people that are paying attention can see. If they wanted to repeal it, they had their chance. They could have stopped it from happening. Too many, the GOP establishment, too much money, too many of them, whatever it is, they let it go through. They're not doing, like every other thing, they're not doing what's best for us. They're not doing what all the constituents want. We tell them, they just keep slapping us in the face. So, yeah, same with Obamacare.
Well, that's because the only thing they're ultimately concerned with is how to keep their power. And that's the thing that I keep trying to get across to everybody, because everybody is always all about, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I guess the quickest way to say it is just to say what I usually say. Our election process has become Einstein's definition of insanity. The only thing we do differently is every so often we pick a different team expecting different results, not realizing that most of the people that we're voting in want the same exact things. They just want to get us there different ways. That's kind of what I was alluding to with Trump. I think in some ways he's not that much different than Sanders. The only difference is he wraps it up in a conservative package because there are so many things that he wouldn't change. I mean, and even if he did, basically by the time it's all said and done, let's just say for the sake of argument that 2017 we have President Trump. I think our economy would probably do a little bit better. I think our military might do a little bit better if he does what he says what he wants to do. But I think what we would wind up doing is trading Obamacare for Trump care. And I just thought of what everybody's going to call that. It'll be called Trump care ad infinitum, and you know it as well as I do. But that'll be exactly what winds up happening. Is we'll trade one form of socialized medicine or the framework for it for another. Because even Trump has admitted that he's in favor of expanding Medicare, which is what a lot of folks think should have happened instead of making the insurance companies the bigger, badder dogs on the block more than they already were when it came to Obamacare. But what nobody wants to talk about is the reason why everything was shifted to the insurance companies. They have become monstrous, so if we keep giving things to them, eventually they're going to wind up feeding on themselves. And at some point, this monstrous system with all these new rules and these 2,000 some odd pages of regulations and lawyer speak and everything else is going to implode. What's going to be left is a mess, and the government's going to have to come in and pick up the pieces.
And by that time, what's going on in the rest of the country could be completely self-destructed with race riots and, just Cloward Piven kicking in hardcore. You know what I mean? By the time the financial, because that's going to bring about a complete financial collapse. They're not just going to come in and replace the healthcare system. People are talking about the dollar collapsing all the time. A lot of it is there's some conspiracy thrown in there, but don't you think if they had to totally come in and bail out healthcare, the entire industry, like they did the auto industry, that's just smaller. If there was social instability in all of the major cities, it would just be. That's what scares me the most. Basically, is what I'm saying. It just. I do not want that to happen before he leaves office because I'm one of those people that have those lingering fears of him being in office when A, we declare war on another country, or B, there's martial law in several major cities at the same time. Therefore, he stays in office. And there goes my tinfoil hat, but I realize I can look at it from all different angles, and it's simply a fear I have.
Well, no, I mean, you're not alone in that fear, so I don't want you to think that at least nobody that I know that listens to this show is going to come out and tell you that you're crazy. We all have that lingering fear. That's one of the reasons why we get so stirred up when we start hearing things about Jade Helm and everything else that may or may not come to pass. And then we have the people that come completely out of the woodwork and just completely start going nuts with it. But I think everybody kind of has that fear. I mean, that's the first thing I thought when he was making the rounds a few weeks ago and started talking about how he knows for a fact he could win a third term. Mm-hmm. And then I realized why he was doing that. Because crazy Uncle Joe was thinking about throwing his hat in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
So by him saying, I'm pretty sure I could win a third term, he's de facto, without saying it, putting his support in with Biden because Biden's been loyal to Obama to a fault. With some very, very bad things going on, he's been loyal to Obama to a fault. And let's face it, Obama does not like the Clintons. And everybody knows the deal that they made was, you campaign for me now, since she's done, and I will do the same for you when it's her turn. He doesn't want it to be her turn. He never has. So I think that's one of the reasons why Crazy Uncle Joe is putting his toe in the water to see what's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure, honestly, and I heard this from one of the other folks on Fox today, but I'm pretty sure, honestly, that his son, Bo, had probably talked to him right before he died and told him that he really, really wanted him to make a run. In some respects, it would be great for my talk show career if Joe Biden became president. As short-lived as that talk show career would be, because the entire country would implode, but it would be great for about 6 months, and I would have lots of material. So, yeah.
He's a 24-hour gaff factory.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. But so, who do you have a list, or do you know who was who didn't make the cut that we thought was going to make the cut for Thursday?
They haven't made a decision yet. What they're going to do over the next I think Wednesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday that's the cutoff. I was listening to that some this morning while I was getting up for work and getting around. They're going to take the five most recent major national polls and average them together to determine who gets to be on the main stage and who goes secondary. I have to admit, the one I'm most disappointed about is Carly Fiorina. I really think she deserves to be on the main stage, and I don't know if she's going to get there, but I think she deserves to be there, especially over some of these other nozzles. As far as I'm concerned, Governor Krispy Kreme can just take his butt to the second stage where he belongs. But then again, if they put him on there, he'd be the only one that would fit.
Yeah, Carly should be on the first stage. I agree.
I really thought she was going to get some traction, because I know of a couple of groups that were really trying to push for her there for a bit. And I don't know. Like I said, it's both good and bad that Trump is getting so much attention, because there's so many candidates that we don't know anything about yet, because the media is only talking about Trump, which can be good and bad, because that means at some point when Trump gets knocked out of this thing, because let's face it, there is no way in Hades. See, I censored myself. That he is going to make it to basically running against whoever winds up getting the Democratic nod. There is no way. As much as I think in some ways it would be good, there's just no way. I think he does really great things, and I like the fact, and one of the clips that I didn't have a chance to put together was the part of the interview where he tells Eric Bolling that one of his biggest strong suits is that he's not beholden to anyone, because he's not having to go out and chase money, and he's not having to tell people what they want to hear to get him to give him donations, because he doesn't need them. He's basically running most of his campaign out of his own pocket.
Yeah, right. He won't have favors to pay back once he's in office, and I'm hoping that this is my opinion, obviously. I don't mind saying. I just hope when he bows out, he only because obviously I would support Cruz, and I just think that he needs a huge bump, and I agree with you. I don't think he's gonna be there, and push comes to shove down the road.
Well, here's my tinfoil hat moment for the show. There has been more and more talk, and I know he keeps denying it, but let's face it, this is Trump, that if he doesn't make it to the one-on-one confrontation that he's looking for, that he'll make it a one-on-one confrontation and run as an independent. I'm wondering if he's going to wind up being 2016's version of Ross Perot.
You mean he's going to give Hillary the presidency?
Well, I mean, that's been one of the things that's been bantered back and forth about for quite some time, is they're wondering if in some ways he's not a plant for the Hillary administration, and they're just basically using him to draw fire until he gets kicked out as the conservative and then runs independent and then basically hands whoever the Democratic nominee is the presidency. I have to admit that does concern me a little bit, only because of the fact that he has, in the past, said a lot of things that did not make him sound very conservative. I understand he's changed his spots, so to speak, over the last several years, but I still wonder who he is on the inside.
Absolutely.
The other thing that concerns me about him is something else that I keep noticing more and more and more. A lot of the folks that are supporting him in social media are folks that I wouldn't want anywhere near my social media accounts. I mean, I'm talking like heads of Nazi parties and Aryan skinheads and everything else, and he just retweets them like it's nobody's business.
You mean his people that are running in the States for him, or his actual real Donald Trump Twitter account?
Well, no, his real Donald Trump Twitter account, the one that's him. I don't know if he's the only one that runs it.
But he has people, but he's set up a ground game. My state has a guy now handling his social media, and I know him. And I was just curious if he would actually have someone that was retweeting that on his main Twitter account. That I didn't know that. That's fairly extreme.
But yeah, it's kind of gotten to the point where it honestly looks like, as far as he's concerned, he's basically just retweeting anybody that says anything good about him. And, not to mention the fact that he went on someone's show who shall remain nameless that neither one of you neither one of us much care for anymore. I was a little disappointed when I read that.
Well, he's been on his show more than once. If we go to CPAC, you can interview him there. He was there last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try not to be that guy, but there are just certain people that push my buttons. He happens to be one of them. I usually try not to talk about it too much, but...
Yeah, me too, and since we're on the air, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I haven't mentioned him by name.
No, that's... But everyone who knows me can probably figure it out.
Yeah, well.
Probably
Dude,
you two.
He's blocked you. Why do you care? Just saying. Okay,
yeah,
so
such an asshole. So,
see, there you go. There's the Jared I'm trying to bring out at least once a week. There he is. I knew he was there somewhere. All right, so we actually have gotten to pretty much the end of the show at this point. Technical issues notwithstanding, it was fun today, sir. Definitely going to have to yell at JD about making sure the host monkey's kept in his cage better. Speaking of which, we really need to get a sound effect together for that. For the next time things go crazy, we can just have that running around with it, like a monkey yelling for like a minute or so while we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All
absolutely.
Right. Anyway, anything else you want to throw at folks before we shut it down for the night?
No, just Thursday night we have Michael Bowen from Coalition for a Strong America. He's the co-chair with his wife, Stephanie. She's not able to join us, and they're a great organization. Listen in while you're getting ready to watch the debates if you're near a computer, or turn on your phone. And before that, you'll be on. Right, Rick?
Yes, I will. Actually, we have, like I said, we've made an offer at this point, so the house hunting is pretty much come to a close until we find out what's going to happen with the offer that we have on the table. So for at least the next week or so, possibly longer if they take the offer, I will be available. Woohoo!
Right.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this particular episode of America Off the Rails. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Of course, again, big thank you to everybody who is... thanks to all of our listeners. You guys are making this one of the fastest growing talk shows around lately. It seems like every time I turn around, I'm getting an email from another network wanting to run the show. So big shout out to each and every one of you that tune in every day and retweet the stuff when we're talking about it and let folks know that the show's out there, because without you, we couldn't do what we're doing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm crazy enough I would probably do it even if nobody was listening. But the fact that people not only listen, but they like it, make it much, much better. I will be back with you right here tomorrow on America Off the Rails, right here on our home station, K98 Talk. Don't forget, you can also check us out on several affiliates, adding more every single day. You guys have a great night.
Everything you earn by breaking your back. Wanna redistribute when we make our pay tax. Hey, sit down.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. Later.
Game over, man. It's game over.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.